Hello, and welcome to Behind the Scenes, the show that will give you the inside scoop behind athletes overcoming injuries and persevering in their sport. I'm your host, Mia Klasnick, and today we're going to talk about overcoming and persevering through 2 ACL tears with Ava Yurko. We will discuss the ins and outs of an ACL tear and offer listeners tips on how to overcome injuries and persevere in their sport no matter the injury. Our guest today is Ava Yurko. She is a student athlete with a passion for soccer. She is going to share with us how she is overcoming tearing almost everything in one knee sophomore year, and now junior year, tearing her ACL in her other knee. Thanks so much for joining us and talking about this experience. So our first topic today is going to be your sophomore year injury. So last year during your sophomore season, you had an ACL, MCL, and meniscus tear. How did the season end up feeling for you?
It was definitely tough. I just had to focus on my recovery because it took a big mental toll of missing out on my whole club season with my team. It was the first year we really went to a bunch of big showcases, and also the recruiting process, that really slowed that down for me.
And going into talking about perseverance, how did you persevere through that hardship that came with that injury?
I just kind of had to keep reminding myself of my goals, which was to play college soccer and get back stronger than I was before, because a lot of people, this kind of takes them down and out, and I didn't want to be that person.
And now going into just us talking in chemistry class last year, you said that was the hardest thing you had to go through. So how did you overcome that and become a better player?
Well, so first of all, I had a great support system between my coaches, my teammates, my friends, my family. Everybody was just super great with that, and I just kind of had to take it one day at a time and keep, again, reminding myself of my goals and making sure that I was able to come back and be better than I was before.
We are going to move on and talk about your junior year now and how this new injury has affected you and how you're overcoming it. So how are you persevering through a new injury this year, and how is that affecting how you felt last year moving into this year?
I was honestly going to come into this club season feeling really good, obviously until I got hurt, but it's the same injury, so it's good to know at least what to expect and know that I've been through it once so I can do it again.
With you being a junior this year and offers lining up for you, how has that affected your college offers and your college scholarships?
It was definitely a lot harder to get seen because a lot of coaches won't really offer you anything until they've seen you play a few times. And last year I only played 6 or 7 club games, and then this year I'm going to miss out on most of it. But honestly, it's all right because I committed last week to Youngstown State, so.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So going into your commitment, how was that process?
I just kind of reached out to the coach and was like, listen, I tore my ACL last year, and I know that you probably haven't seen me play. They actually did see me play a few times at this one showcase I went to, so that was good. But I just kind of reached out and was like, hey, I really like your school. I'd love to have a chat. Then I went on a visit, and they offered me, and here we are.
Congratulations, that's amazing.
Thank you.
So going back into your junior year injury, so you got injured and got back up and fought hard for what you wanted, and now you have to do that again. Talk us through how that process worked.
It's definitely hard. The mental part of it is a lot more difficult than the physical part, because physically, you honestly get back into it a lot quicker than you think you will. It's just overcoming the mental block of learning to trust it again and making sure that you're not really you're not changing your game because of it, because you can't go back into it scared because that's when more injuries happen.
Have you met with the trainers, and have they given you physical therapy to do, or how have they helped you through this?
I do my physical therapy at Excella Square down by Walmart, so they have I go to Adam there and he's great.
That's amazing. Okay, moving on to our next topic, which is perseverance. And I know you've persevered through a lot through these past 2 years. And whenever you get injured, how do you plan to end your junior season of soccer?
I'm hoping that my team is able to make it to playoffs just like last year, and I'm hoping that I can play in at least a few games, but especially now that I'm committed, I'm not going to rush back into it. Last year, I came back in exactly 6 months, which is definitely on the faster side of the timeline. But I don't really have as much to worry about this year, so I'm hoping to just take my time and make sure that I heal right, because I obviously have my whole future ahead of me.
And the tears in this season were your ACL and LCL?
It was my ACL, meniscus, and LCL last year. This year was my ACL and my MCL.
And that had to be very hard for you.
Yeah, it was definitely like as soon as it happened, I just remember being on the field and I was like, no, not again, like please. And honestly, it was just kind of rough because I didn't think that it was my ACL this time because I was able to like jump and move and everything just fine afterwards. It was just like a little sore. So the trainers were like, oh, well, it's not going to be anything serious. And that's also what I was told last time, but both times it obviously ended up being something more serious, which was tough because you get your hopes up and then it's the worst case scenario.
It goes down, right? So would you like to talk about how you make yourself like feel better and uplifted during this process?
Yeah, I just try to spend a lot of time around my friends because it's like, as much as I love soccer, and that's something that this has helped me realize a lot, is just how much I love the game and I can't really live without it. But I try to surround myself with my friends because they do a good job of taking my mind off of everything. And also, during this time, I also try to like watch soccer so that even if I can't be improving physically, I can improve my knowledge of the game and make sure that when I come back, I can at least make the right decisions on the field.
You're persevering very well through this season. So I think that's going to wrap up our episode. Thank you so much, Ava, for joining me and talking about the struggles of your injury and persevering and overcoming the hardship that came with your injury. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode and make sure to tune in for the next episode on Behind the Scenes.